Okay, one more time again. This is my third time trying to upload this video. I've run over time twice. It seems like such an easy question, and for whatever reason it conjures up all this stuff. Okay, so natural butterfly. Thank you for asking. What did you think, about natural hair when you wore a relaxer? I've always loved natural hair. I loved it when I had it. I guess when I had it, I didn't really think about it as natural. I just thought of it as my hair, and I didn't think that much of it because my mom did it for me, and you know, I was too busy running around and playing and stuff. And then when I was in third grade, I relocated from a school that was about 50-50 white-black to a school where everybody in my class was white except for two other black kids. There was a little boy and another little girl, and we were the only black people in my grade. I can't tell you how many black people were in the school, but there weren't that many. So in any event, all of my little friends ended up being these little white girls, and I remember that was the year that I wanted my mom to straighten my hair. I don't remember thinking that I wanted to be like them, but it had to have been something like that because I wanted my hair straight. So I begged her to relax it, and she relaxed it. When I had my hair relaxed, I loved it. I wore a little ponytail in the top with the rest down. I would wear two little pigtails with it all curly until I was in about 6th grade, where I was really feeling myself, and I started wearing like the little flip, the little Farrah Fawcett thing. And then when I got older, I started doing like the little angled bob thing with the hair that came down like this. It was kind of like the Dorothy Hamill / Dionne Warwick look that was popular at the time, and I loved it. But I always looked at people with natural hair, and I thought, man, that's so pretty. I wish I could do that. I think I thought I couldn't do it, not so much because of society, but because, well, maybe it was society, but mainly because of my family. My mother is very, very fair, and she has wavy, silky, thick hair. My grandmother is very, very fair, and she has silky, straight hair with a little bit of a wave to it. But for all intents and purposes, you would never know that my grandmother was not white. My grandfather looks very much like my grandmother, and his parents look like him, and my grandmother's parents look like her. And my father is a dark chocolate color, which is how I ended up somewhere in between. But my mother divorced my father when I was 4 and married my stepfather, who is also very, very fair and has silky, curly hair. So for the most part, I didn't have a lot of connection. I had a connection with my real father, but I didn't have a connection with his side of the family. So for the most part, everybody on my mom's side of the family, and even my stepfather's side of the family, were very, very fair with like either silky straight hair or silky curly hair. And so that was one part of it. And then the other part was, well, my parents, my stepfather and my mother, had my sister, and she also had hair like my mother. So anyway, my mother relaxes her hair because she thinks it's unattractive. I suppose she thinks it's unattractive because it's thick, and it's not silky straight like my grandmother's. So she relaxed her hair, she relaxed my sister's hair, and she also relaxed my hair. But I always felt kind of like I was the outsider in terms of the way I looked. Not so much because my family did that to me, but society. I mean, when my friends would see my mom, they would say things like, "Oh, I didn't know your mom was white," or they would say, "I didn't know you were adopted," Or if we would go into a store, you know, people would look at me and look at my mom and try to figure out if we were together, or assume that we weren't together. Or, you know, if my mom would say, oh yeah, you know, this is my daughter, people would be like, really? You know, it was just an uncomfortable and hurtful type situation. And I remember thinking, man, I wish I looked more like my family. So anyway, I think with the relaxed hair, I felt like I looked more like them than not. When my hair is relaxed, it's shiny and it's bouncy and it moves, and even though it doesn't look silky straight like my mother's looks with a relaxer, I felt like people would be able to recognize that we were in the same family, I guess. But in any event, as I got older, I had my own family, and it stopped being so much about fitting into my nuclear family as it started being about being authentically me, being who I am as an individual and as a woman. With the relaxer, I started feeling like I look like every other black woman on the street, with a shoulder length, relaxed, wrapped bob, and quite honestly, it was boring. I mean, I felt like a clone. You know, the biggest thing I could be proud of with the relaxed hair, at least now looking back, I never would have thought this then, is that, you know, I was able to get it to grow beyond my shoulder, or, you know, it had movement to it or something like that. You know, nothing about relaxed hair inspires people to come up to you and say, wow, how did you get your hair like that? Or, your hair is so gorgeous, tell me, you know, what you did to it. Or, I just love your hair. You know, those are the types of responses we get now as natural women. Those are the types of things I thought about natural women when I was relaxed. I guess for me, it was more of an acceptance of being able to stand alone, being able to be who I am without comparing it to anyone else in my family, or comparing it to what society deems beautiful, just being able to be authentically myself. And once I was able to take comfort in that, I was able to move forward on my natural journey with, you know, wholeheartedly, with no problem. So, anyway, I always loved natural hair when I was relaxed, and I'm glad that I finally had the strength or courage or whatever you would call it to be who I am. So, anyway, thanks for asking the question, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.